Yep, that's me. You may be wondering how this old new rider with the mechanical acumen of a turnip ended up attempting to change a spark plug. Stick around and I'll tell you on this episode of
Upside down, beautiful.
Hi, I'm Upside and welcome to my channel. This was me last week. Morning. I was at a party last night. It was lots of fun. I don't know why I feel rough. I don't really drink. But my KTM Duke 390 seems to have taken a drinking problem. So Daisy, my KTM 390 Duke, has been running a little bit rough lately. She's been making me a bit nervous. And after long trips, I've noticed that she's been drinking a little bit too much oil. And she's got an expensive taste. Thinking she and I might need to enter some kind of 12-step program to rectify this problem. When it comes to the world of motorcycles, I am a neophyte. The idea of fixing this problem is overwhelming, and my natural inclination is to shut down. After consulting with Dr. Google, it appears that various researchers on productivity agree on one thing. In order to overcome task paralysis from overwhelm, it is best to break the endeavor down into small, manageable steps, or chunks, so to speak. So that's what I decide I will do. Step 1 is to admit that I have a problem and that I can't fix it all by myself. I need a higher power. The good news is I have a group of motorcycle experts on my phone, gracious and wonderful and helping in every step of this journey. What do you call a group of higher powers? Is it a gaggle? A herd? A school? Maybe a flock. Yeah, I'm going to go with flock. The unfortunate thing about my bevy of higher powers, bevy, I like that. The unfortunate thing about my bevy of higher powers is none of them live close to me. They all live far away. So no hands-on help for this grandma. I contact higher power number 1, who suggests that maybe it could be any number of reasons that Daisy is behaving the way she is. The suggestion then is to start with something simple and probably the least expensive and then work your way through. That makes complete sense to me. So the starting point is the spark plug. Before I can change a spark plug, I need a new one. So step number 2 is to find out where I can get that. I reach out to higher power number 2, who suggests that probably Royal Distributing might have something that I need. And they're just down the road, so it's perfect. So I toddle off to the good folks at Royal Distributing and get a little bit distracted. They have a table at the front, and Jessica encouraged me to spin the wheel, and I won a hat. Or in Canada, we call them toques. Look, Dad, I won a hat. Step number 3, finding the tools. Thanks to YouTube and a pair of reading glasses, I finally got there in the end. And I found the tools. Step number 4, try and locate the spark plug. And there were obstacles. For the love of Pete, there's no clearance. Step number 5, call higher power number 1 in a panic, who assures me this is in my scope of capability and gives me some spiritual insight to this being my moment of zen. Wrong. On both accounts, higher power. You clearly haven't looked up Zen in the dictionary, nor have you ever owned a KTM. Step number 6, get that rubber seal off despite the hard elbow, no clearance, and a bunch of wires in the way. Okay, you can't really see it, but in there, that hard elbow, I need to get that out so that I can get at the spark plug. But here's the trouble. It's hard and it hits things and it won't bend. And I've been spending 20 minutes trying to manipulate this part out. Step number 7, call higher power to complain. Then get back at it and actually get the rubber seal off. Which leads us to step number 8. Put the little tool thingy down the shaft that is supposed to grab the spark plug. It doesn't work. For some reason, it won't grip and pull the spark plug out. Step number 8.5, have a little cry session. Step number 9, write a book with a woman whose nephew and partner ride motorcycles and live close by. Then contact said people on Instagram and plead for help. Step number 10, invite them over. Enter higher power number 3, Tristan, completing the Trinity.
So is that right down in this shaft here? Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is trying to find a spot I can get high enough to pull the spark plug out and not drop it back into.
If it drops down, do you start all over?
It's kind of a start all over scenario. Yeah, so.
Oh, goodness.
Well, you need to invent some kind of tool
Yes.
that you can just pluck it out or something.
So I'm sure there is, but obviously because I've never really touched a little KTM Sport like this, I just didn't know what I was going to be looking at really. It's funny, I'm trying to get either the extension out of the top or the socket out of or the plug out of the bottom, and there's just absolutely no space. I had like another quarter mil.
I feel like if I had like tongs,
Yeah.
that I could grab it or something.
Okay, I got it.
On the other side. You got it?
Yeah, I just.
Woohoo! Awesome. Let's take a look at it. Does it look terrible?
So no, it's not beautiful. It's definitely a used spark plug for sure. But like, I've definitely pulled a lot worse out of a lot of my bikes. So
Okay. Is that good or bad news for me then?
So if you have a new one there.
I
right?
love learning interesting facts about people.
Buying kind of dead bikes and fixing them, and then that's a lot of people just now get me to more or less fix most of their stuff. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, like, and it started out like kind of what Merle was saying. I always wanted to have bikes, but my family was kind of against them. One of my family members passed away being a bit of an idiot on a bike, so it was kind of shunned. And then when I got the first one running again, everyone was a little okay with it, and they're like, all right, just be careful doing it. So that's kind of how it started. And then actually even my dad, who's very anti-motorcycle, I have a couple of videos of him riding one of my smaller ones, my little 250 that I brought back to life a couple of years ago. So I play a lot with motorcycles, that's for sure.
Step number 11, ride the motorcycle. See how Daisy runs. Time for a little break and a picture. And off again. Oh, it's a Triumph! It's a Triumph!
Yeah.
What do you got?
700?
I was looking at the little 400. They got the new 400s
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year, the speed. I demoed one in Whitby, and I liked
Handle
it.
amazing.
Do they?
Oh yeah, it's heavy.
That's
It's
my
heavy.
concern.
Well, it's cast iron, right? The engine's still cast iron. It's British,
Yeah.
so they still rock the heavy stuff. It weighs like 600 pounds, but handles like a
little thing?
yeah. I had a 900 RR before that, and this one I think handles a little better.
Really?
Yeah.
See, this is my first season ever.
Okay. And you picked the Duke?
I know. Well, it's light.
Well, it's light, but they're snappy, eh?
Well, that's good. Because if you got to get out of this bad situation, right?
My friends have the 800s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go.
And I can almost touch.
Oh, no, yeah, that's touching. That's... The guy that I'm riding with, buddy that I'm riding with today, he's like this.
Is he? Yeah. Where's Washago? Is that just around the
It's right
corner?
there, yeah.
And I turn left for the main street?
You got it, right at the lights.
Thank you very much. Safe
You're
riding.
welcome. Yeah, you too. Rubber side down, eh?
Yep, that's right. I managed to find a sweet treat before I headed back home. Which brings me to step number 12. Take Daisy into the professionals for an oil change and a general check over. I took Daisy in for an oil change, and two interesting things happened while I was waiting for my service to be completed. The first was I met Bruce. At first, I thought he worked there because he kept trying to sell me on the BMW G310. He finally confessed that he didn't work there, and he told me that he was 72 years old and he had lost his wife a little over a year ago. After such a debilitating life change, he got back into motorcycling. And, of course, it was on the 310. He brought me to tears when he told me he is so in the moment when he's on his motorcycle that there is absolutely no room for grief. Riding gives him a reprieve from the crushing fact that he lost his wife of 48 years. And the second interesting thing was I was told I was an enabler. I'd actually overfilled Daisy's oil in my exuberance. This past year, I've had some monumental tasks, and the only way I could deal with them was to break them into smaller, doable bits. My beautiful lesson in all of this is in life and on a motorcycle, sometimes the only way to get through tough things is to take it one step at a time. Even though I didn't change that spark plug all by myself, I am pretty darn proud. I was able to gather the resources and the people to get the job done. What maintenance do you do yourself with your motorcycle, and what do you always take in for service? Please comment below. Please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. But more importantly, remember that life is beautiful, even when it's upside down.